My name is Taylor Howard. I'm going to be your court-mandated social worker today and for the next couple weeks. We're going to start by doing a little social history assessment where you're going to give me some details about why you're here, what brings you here in your life. Just so you know, everything you say to me today is confidential unless you present yourself as a threat to yourself or others. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you could tell me a little bit about yourself. Have you always lived in Georgia?
No, I actually moved here with my wife about 15 years ago from New Jersey. And I grew up in New Jersey with my mom, my brothers, and my sister. But we moved here because my wife's father bought her a business that she was going to run. And I've been working there part-time ever since we got here.
How's it been since you moved to Georgia? Are you enjoying Georgia?
I mean, I'm farther away from my family, but I don't think that's bad for me, just because of my past with them. But, I mean, I guess we have it made here in a way, where my wife's her own boss, so we have like a steady source of income, and I don't know, I think our kids like it more than they would like the north. They hate the cold.
How do you feel about the cold? Do you like the cold?
I miss it. I miss home, but I also am glad we're here.
Tell me a little bit about your family. Are you close with your parents?
My father passed away whenever I was younger due to alcoholism, and I always have fun when I'm with my mom, but I don't think she's a good influence on my actions. And then my sister's sort of the same as my mom in that regard, and my brother passed away due to alcoholism about 10 years ago as well.
So alcoholism runs pretty heavy in your family.
Yeah, I guess it does.
That can be difficult to deal with, and especially to understand how that plays into your own life. Tell me a little bit about your work. Are you working at your wife's shop?
Yeah, it's a bagel shop. We also sell like coffee, and it's a deli as well. But we have two shops, and I work at the one that's not as busy most of the time, and I'm technically the manager there. But normally I'll just pop in for like 2 hours and leave. I work about 8 hours a week. So it's really nice.
Do you enjoy what you're doing?
No, I don't like working there. I'd rather just not do it, but I work for at least 8 hours a week. I do something.
It can be hard not doing what you feel like you're meant to be doing. And maybe we can work through that and find something through the course of these sessions that we can all be happy with what you're doing.
I would like that.
Yeah. So could you tell me a little bit about how you and your wife met and your little history?
My wife and I met when we were seniors in high school, and I guess we kind of hit it off from there. We just had a lot of fun together, really. And then we moved to Georgia, and after about being here for a year, we had our first child, and then 4 years later we had our second child. But right now, things aren't going the best between us. We fight a lot. That's really most what we do whenever we're together, is we fight now.
I'm really sorry to hear that. That can be hard. It can be stressful. What do you think is a lot of the causes of the fight?
She says it's because I don't pull my weight and I don't do enough for the family. She also doesn't like whenever I drink or use.
And how often would you say you drink? And by use, what kind of substances do you use?
I'll buy heroin from my son's drug dealer with him sometimes. And I'm drinking probably every night of the week or 6.
Do you feel you drink more when you're stressed, or is it just a nightly activity at this point?
It's almost my routine, I think. I don't know. I feel like I'm living more when I'm drinking. Like, I just feel like I don't exist in the same world when I'm sober. It's like everything's just bland, or it's just feeling void in a way.
So you're saying you kind of feel empty with what you're doing and in your current role?
I guess so.
That can be hard. It's hard to really figure out where your place is in life. So you've been fighting with your wife a lot. What's your relationship like with your children?
Me and my son are really close, but I think it's because he's a lot like me.
Is he your older child?
Yeah,
Oh.
he's the oldest child. He's I think he's 22 right now.
Okay.
But yeah, we get along. We do a lot of the same activities. We like to watch TV together as well. But I would say we're close. He'll bail me out of jail whenever I get taken in, and I'll do the same for him.
And your other child is a daughter or son?
Yeah, our daughter Jenna, she's 18. She's just starting college now. And she doesn't really talk to me often. I think she thinks I'm the reason me and her mom fight so much, and she blames it on me. She won't talk to me if I drink, so I haven't really spoken to her much outside of like family dinners.
And how does that make you feel?
It upsets me because I know that it's my fault, but I don't really see what I could do to change it.
Well, that's what we're working through. So I see you were in your 4th DUI recently. Can you explain to me a little bit what happened that day causing or leading up to the arrest?
I went to work that morning, like most every morning. I went there from 10 to 12, and then when I went to leave, there's a bar next door, so I figured I would just stop in, and I guess one thing led to another, and I started having drinks while I was there, and I was talking to people, because a lot of my friends are at the bars, and like, they won't yell at me or fight with me, and it's people that I feel like I get along with, and that get me and get along with me. So I have a lot of fun being there, and I feel like I'm welcome there. So I was there again after work, and I was drinking.
Can you remember how long you were there for?
My daughter needed me to pick her up at 6 o'clock, so I was there for probably 4 hours. And I was on my way to pick up my daughter from college, and that's when I was pulled over and brought in. And normally, whenever, or the other times I guess, when I've been arrested for a DUI, my wife will come and just get me out of jail the next night or like the next day. It'll always be almost immediately. And she was just sick of it. And I stayed there for a few nights. I was there for I think 3 or 4 days before she got me this time. She said she was just done dealing with it, and it was getting in the way of like real family problems, and it was creating family problems. But my other 3, I wasn't going to get my daughter, and it was just me out that night. This is the first one where my family was involved.
And what kind of thoughts were going through your mind over the course of those days while you were sitting in jail?
I mean, I really feel like I thought about it a lot while I was in there. I was really mad whenever I called her and she told me she wasn't going to take me out, because like I felt like I had learned my lesson while I was there. I felt like I had learned my lesson after I got arrested, but she said if I had learned my lesson, then this wouldn't be the 4th time it happened. But I don't know, I feel bad and I want to change, but then whenever I get out, I don't see the point in changing in a way. It's like I can just go back to doing my daily routine, and as long as I don't get caught, then I'm not hurting anybody.
Well, I think it's good that there's at least a part of you that would like to change. So there's a part of you that has hope that this isn't how it always has to be, and we can get you in a place where you feel good about what you're doing, and realizing that drinking is not necessarily the mechanism that should be getting you through the day. Can you tell me a little bit about what it's been like ever since you got out of jail this time?
So I've been out for a week and a half or 2 weeks now, and right now my son isn't at home because he was recently arrested. So the house is just me, my wife, and our daughter, and I've been sleeping in his bedroom because she doesn't want to share a bed with me right now. She's just really fed up with me, and she found all the empty alcohol bottles I had under our dresser, so she was just really mad at me, and she said that I was going to become like my father or like my mother, and that got me very mad, and I was then yelling at her. So it's been kind of hostile being back home, and Jenna won't really talk to me. She's kind of in her room or at school, and I don't know if she is just busy or doesn't want anything to do with me. But I don't know, I've been drinking less since I got back.
Well, that's a good thing. Do you think maybe this time has had more of an impact on you? Do you think maybe being left in jail for a longer period of time could have left you some more time to think or reflect?
I definitely think so. I mean, I've thought about it more this time for sure. Normally everything feels the exact same after it happens, but it feels very different this time, and it could also be because my son isn't there. But it feels different, and I don't like how it is, so it makes me not want to do this as much. But then...
Have you ever spoken with a social worker or a therapist or been to any outreach groups for addiction before?
No.
Would you have any interest in going to them in the future, or are you feeling...
I don't think I'm at the point where I'm addicted. I just like to do it to like relax and to blow off steam, because everything else is so hard, because like my work and then like coming home. But I don't want to end up like my parents either, though.
It can be hard seeing your life going down this course and not not knowing where you're going or what's happening, and having this fear of ending up like your parents or ending up in a bad outcome. So hopefully over the course of our next sessions we can get a little bit more into the root of the problem, and just start to break down barriers towards treatment and stuff. But I would like to ask, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What kind of goals would you like to set with me?
I guess first off, I would like if me and my wife didn't fight as much. I would like if my daughter talked to me more. And I don't really know if I even want to say I want to stop drinking, because it's just been it's been a part of my life since I can remember. And I know it's bad, and I know my family has been hurt a lot by it, but it's almost like that's what it means to like be John Romaglia. I feel like it's part of me.
Do you feel like you're really defined by who you are when you're drinking? Do you feel like you're more comfortable in your shoes?
Yeah, I feel like that's like the real me at this point. And I feel like whenever I'm not drinking, it's just I'm not giving people who I really am. I'm giving them like a different version of me or a different face. But that's the face I have to wear around my family, and they want to see me have. So I don't know, it's like a crossroads.
Well, we're gonna keep talking. I think right now it'd be very important to figure out maybe what you want to do with your life, so that you're not just walking this life of other people seem to have placed you in the shoes that you're in today. Hopefully we can get you feeling more comfortable with who you are as a person. So we're going to be meeting together for the next 6 weeks, and hopefully through that time we can start working through your problems and really getting to breaking down some barriers and walls. Thanks for talking with me today.
Thank you.